Day, coming to you live from the park, Cypress Beach Park. There's my water and at a picnic table. So here's where we are, and I figured it's good to get outside again, even though it's cloudy. Um, but it's good to be here, and I hope you're doing well. Um, let's see. So, shoot, shoot. It turns out got a squirrel coming here. Uh, I guess they're friendly because they think I have food and maybe they're used to company here. So anyway, okay, so today's terrific Thursday as usual, but this time we're coming from the park again. And I'm going to do the positive affirmation card picks 1, 2, and 3. And um I'm also going to just share a little bit about what's going on, any insights I have, and please feel free to share any insights or wins, any positive insights or wins, gratitudes, blessings that you're conscious of or that you can think of. So that's part of how we lift our mood by counting our blessings, as they would say. Think about what did work out, or even if you felt better about something, or you felt a little calmer, or you distracted yourself in a good way, to feel um, more positive this week. What's working? Because it's so easy to see and focus on what is not working. Um, so that's a lot of what I'm trying to do with these little projects, these broadcasts, to help us all to focus on the positive, focus on the good, look for the good in life, despite all the challenges out there, because we all have challenges. In my case, like I say, I'm a caregiver for senior parents, and it's challenging for uh, for the person getting the care and for the person giving the care, because it's change in life. There's change, right? And then when you feel like you compare yourself or others to how you used to be, if you used to feel like you had more energy or better health or more freedom or more of a life, and then it seems like you no longer really have that. It's unsettling and disturbing to people. And again, whether you're someone being cared for or someone who has to give the care, as much as you want to give and you want to help, but we also need self-care, because otherwise we get burnt out. And then our burnout, our own stress, our own aggravation uh gets mixed in with resentment, and then you're like, who wants someone like that helping them? It's upsetting for the person who has to have the help. So that's why I'm trying to do more positive broadcasts and help us all, whatever you're in life, whatever you're worried about, whatever you're concerned about, whatever doubts you have, whatever kind of overwhelm. It's good for us to get together and take this time to focus on the positive, focus on the good, what is working. We have this beautiful day here. Actually, the sun is just coming out, but God provides us with this abundance of nature. If it's not right in your neighborhood, you could probably get around some kind of nature, or put some plants around you. Buy yourself a little bouquet of flowers. Um, there's a beauty and abundance in nature God provides us with water. Thank God, many of us have clean water, and the sun is comes up every day, and we are blessed. Many of us, if you could see, you can hear, you can walk to some degree, you can talk, you can breathe, and many people have challenges with those things, move. But we're grateful for any amount of those things that we have, and just that we are children of God, in my opinion, that no matter what happens, if you have a little faith, you're always connected to that divine source, You got that soul within you that's connected, and with God, all I like to say, good things are possible. There's always hope, no matter what's going on. If this life is challenging, eventually on the other side, you have uh, a happy life. Yeah, this is only positive affirmation cards. Okay, so if you don't like it, you don't have to be here. Um, okay, let's see. All right. So positive affirmation cards. Here we go. Whoops. So this is Rethink Mindful Life. And here we go. Let's see. So anyway, so these are positive affirmation cards. And just for those who, you know, mention things, I am a believer in Jesus and a follower of his. You don't have to be. I believe that God is with everybody from all backgrounds and religions, and positive mindset is totally fine for those who think there's something wrong with that. Okay? It's sad that you feel that you have to call out positive affirmation cards. Anyway, thank you, Marta. Hi, Abel. Thank you for being here. How are you? I'm okay, thank you. So here we go. 1, 2, and 3. And let's see. One says self-discovery. Self-discovery. I embark upon the transformative expedition of self-discovery, fearlessly delving into the depths of my being, unveiling the essence of my true self, embracing authenticity as my guiding light. I live in alignment with my innermost values and desires, radiating a profound sense of wholeness and fulfillment. Okay, self discovery. I embark upon the transformative expedition of self discovery. And I want to say, especially for people who like to bring up Jesus, who I do believe in. It's a biblical thing to know thyself, and that you know the renewing of the mind is part of being on this positive spiritual path. So self-discovery. I embark upon the transformative expedition of self discovery, fearlessly delving into the depths of my being, unveiling the essence of my true self. Embrace, and that true self, in my opinion, is, we're souls, we're children of God. That spark of God within each of us, no matter what religion, no matter what background, whether people believe it or not, that's up to them. But this is just my own understanding. You don't have to believe what I say. You go by your own connection to God. But that soul, this is saying embracing authenticity as my guiding light. We're really the souls, not the personality, right? And so your authentic self is really, in my opinion, from what I understand, life is a mystery, spirituality is a mystery. There's no definite that we know of right now, but I mean, there's all these mysteries in life still, but with God. But I live in alignment with my innermost values and desires. That's when you get more in the positive path of life, in the flow of God's blessings, when you live according to your positive values, and being your authentic self that God made you as much as possible, radiating a profound sense of wholeness and fulfillment. Thank you so much, Marta. I appreciate that. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, the name of these cards is Rethink Mindful Life. So it's about just being in mindfulness instead of being in worry all the time. Um, as a matter of fact, there was I saw a documentary on, I don't know if many of you know who um, uh, Norman Vincent Peale was. I believe he was a Protestant minister. Um, Popular in like the 70s, maybe the 60s. He wrote Power of Positive Thinking, and he was a minister, and he noticed that his congregation, I saw this on a documentary on like the History Channel recently, And he noticed that his the parishioners at the church were very filled with faith and very, religious, etc., spiritual, whatever. And yet they still had a lot of health issues and like wellness issues and maybe anxiety, etc. That's when he started realizing that part of the spiritual path, or part of the path as a soul in this human body, is also working with the mind, the mindset. I really appreciate that, Marta, for subscribing. Thank you so much. It's also the mind, right? Because we're body, right? We're body, mind, and spirit. We're not all soul, and we've got to deal with this earth. And the mind is part of the body that we have limitations with this human body. So the mind is sort of connected to that. And so he found that when he started also addressing people's the mental way of aligning with positive thoughts, because we have thoughts all the time. I don't care how spiritual, religious people are, or spirit, as long as you're a human being, you have thoughts. And we're not perfect. So that's why I like these type of and I use the cards instead of books, because I can't, this is short. Otherwise, I used to do book readings together, group book readings. But that's why, to me, mindfulness is a way to kind of harness the mind so you can better tap into your spiritual life, your faith, without all this distractions that the mind gives us, around our focusing and believing in God and the power that we have when we're really connected to Him. Anyways, number 2 says releasing control, and this says a chain broken, releasing control. I surrender the need for control and gracefully yield to the flow of life. Right? We can't control everything. We can't control other people's opinions. I have to learn that. Uh, right. We can't control the weather. It looked like it was going to rain today. I would have preferred sun so I could do this to you in sunshine in a bright environment. But we have to release control. Trusting, release, I surrender, right? Thank you, God. I surrender my need for control. Uh, Trust in the natural rhythm of the universe. It's God's universe, okay? He created everything. This is my opinion, my spiritual perspective. You take what sounds good to you, and anything else, just ignore. I embrace the unknown and welcome the magic of life's unfolding. And by magic, again, it to me is the magic of life is really, this beautiful universe that God created. And the magic of life is, these birds. There was this squirrel over here. I mean, that was a little spooky, but this squirrel saw me here, was going to come up, and that's why I jumped up for a minute. That's, but these are God's creatures we share this magical life with. So embrace the unknown and welcome the magic of life's unfolding. And like they say, uh the Lord works in mysterious ways, right? There's these quote unquote coincidences, positive, I'm talking, quote unquote synchronicities that you align with. You get into the positive flow of things in a loving, compassionate uh thoughts and actions and energy. And then you get into the flow of God's blessings, that all of a sudden you run into the person that you needed to see because they told you something, or all of a sudden you're at the right place at the right time. You go to your doctor appointment and you needed to get in. Oh God, this squirrel's coming here. You needed to get in, and they didn't have a time for you. And as you walk there, all of a sudden the time slot opened. That's the magical unfolding in God's world. So release control and trust that, as Abraham Hicks would say, things are working out for you and for me in God's world. Okay. Right. Number 3 is self-care. This is a very good one because I've been talking about this a lot. This is cute. There's a picture of a woman sleeping on a bed with a big band-aid on top of her. Uh Self-care. It says, I prioritize self-care and self-love in my life. I honor my needs and take care of myself physically, emotionally and spiritually. I am worthy of the time and effort it takes to care for myself. This is very important because people, whether you're a caregiver or just an overgiver in life, a lot of times women tend to be overgivers, caretakers, but men too. Um, Even maybe at your job or at your wherever, maybe you overgive even in volunteering at your church or temple or something, which is great to give, but like they always say, God helps those who help themselves, and it's supposed to be that you love one another as you love yourself. Now, back in the 70s, when I was going to 12 years of Catholic school, they told us that love one another as you love yourself, but they never talked about the love yourself part. So what was that? And they said, don't be conceited, don't be selfish. But when you grow up thinking the good thing was only to give, and you don't focus on the love yourself part much at all, you don't have to be responsible for everything in life and to help everybody through their life. And a lot of us, especially caregivers, we were not taught what self-care. Nobody talked about self-care back then. But if you don't do that, then you get sick, and it's happened to me, unfortunately. And then you're not here. Here's this bird over here scaring me. You get sick, and then if you're sick or you're burnt out or you're in the hospital or something, you can't help people. Does God want that? I don't think so. So, self-care, I prioritize self-care and self-love in my life. I honor my needs and take care of myself physically, emotionally, and spiritually. I am worthy of the time and effort it takes to care for myself. Let's see, what are people saying here? Trent, modesty. I'm really trying to get myself back together. It's a process. I've learned that rushing things aren't always the best way to do things. Yes, that's very good, Trent. Thank you for sharing that. Um, you've been trying to get yourself back together this past year. I'm sorry it's been challenging, but good for you. It's a process, definitely, and every day, we have good moments and challenging moments. So, and have learned that rushing things aren't always the best way. That's very good. Years ago, yeah, there's divine timing, and rushing things also is like lately, one of the trends, I don't know if you've been noticing online, people talking in the holistic wellness field, which I'm interested in, they're talking about the nervous system, our nervous systems, and how that kind of maybe slows us down with our goals, or without us realizing it. It's like, you can even positive things, we can't take on too much at once, because we still have the human part of us. That's why when people come on here and they talk about, oh, sinner, this and that, and um God made us human. We're souls having a human experience. We need to work with both, and this human body has a nervous system, and if we try to do too many things, we need sleep, we need rest, God made us that way, right? We need water, um and and even if we want to do a whole bunch of great things for, other people or whatever, our body's going to give out. We can't rush things. We have to do divine timing. Very good. Thank you. I mean, just do little things at a time. Oh, so this is just one little funny thing. I think that I don't know if anybody else knows who Mr. Rogers is or grew up watching Mr. Rogers, but sometimes when you rush things, you make mistakes. Right? Again, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. There's all these sayings, whether it's Bible sayings or just lifetime sayings passed down from one human generation to another. Um, Again, Trent says, very interesting you brought that up. I've been having neurological issues that have slowed me down. Okay, I'm sorry to hear that, Trent. And that's been my challenge to get past it. Okay, very good. Trent, I'm sure, again, with God, all good things are possible when you're working with, your holistic health, in my humble opinion, body, mind, and spirit, little bit at a time, you'll be fine. My father in his 80s, this is 10 years ago, had to have a brain operation, okay? A brain tumor operation. And I'm sharing this in case it's inspiring to you. Now, he was in his 80s, and then he couldn't even walk. Talk about neurological issues. Is that neurology? Well, he could not walk after that for a year, almost a year and a half. It was scary. It was depressing. It looked like that chapter was never going to end. Well, he went on a year and 4 months with physical therapy and getting back little at a time, little at a time. He wound up walking again, not needing any wheelchair, walking again. People on the block who knew him because he was always active and everything, they would see him in a wheelchair for a year and a half. When he started walking again, you thought that they saw it was like a miracle because I mean, it was a little shorter than they had thought, and then they thought he was going to have like a drop foot because his foot looked like it was dragging, and the physical therapist said, "Oh, that doesn't go away." I'm like, "Yeah, all right, whatever." Well, that went away, okay, and I mean, he's dealing, he's elderly, but you can get through this, especially if you're younger. You seem like you're young. So I hope for all great, happy, healthy progress for you. Um, and yeah, little things at a time. And really, those little things do build up, especially like as an example of physical therapists or anything that we do. If we do baby steps and we're able to be consistent, and then we look back at those things like, wow, that really helped, that really did miraculous things. What I was going to say was I used to watch Mr. Rogers as a child, and he had a song, and and it was about not rushing things, and he said, and the words of the song were uh, well, it was like, "I like to take my time, I mean, like, when I want to do something." Anyway, it was about, uh, "I like to take my time and do it right. I mean, I just might make mistakes if I should have to hurry up. I like to take my time and do it right," you know? So, yes, thank you, Trent, I appreciate it. Yeah, he was like the miracle man. It was like, I mean, amazing, amazing. Um, yeah, he was really amazing. He was actually it's a long depressing story, but I mean, he was really I mean, that worked out. So hi Soledad, thank you for being here. But thank you, Trent. I wish you much success on your wellness healing journey. You'll do fine. But the self-care, I do think, is important for us all. And sometimes a lot of people we feel that we have to fix everything in everybody else's life, and then you keep putting yourself on the back burner. Thank you, Trent. You were watching Miss Rogers did great. Thank you. Um, we put ourselves on the back burner so much that then it's like, okay, and now you have this health challenge because you haven't taken care of yourself. Now, can you take care of the other people now? Can you do maybe the business that you feel called to do, that you feel God has given you to maybe help share your talents with others? No, because you also have to take care of this human vessel. All right, so that was three. Um, let's see. I'm just going to do. So we have about 5 minutes left. If anybody wants to choose a card, I usually just say like between 1 and 31 for like a general uh amount of days in a month. Um, again, these are just positive affirmation cards. I'm not predicting anybody's the futures. Okay, for anybody that uh so this card deck, these are all positive affirmation, mindfulness cards that just this is called Happier Me. And if anybody wants to just pick a number between 1 and 31, and let's see if there's a positive message. And I like to say, like Abraham Hicks, who I like that philosophy. uh they tend to say, if somebody chooses asks a question and it's answered, or something like that, even though you didn't choose that question, if it's an answer that seems fitting to you, you might want to consider that as a positive information for yourself. Okay, great. 25. Thank you. Yeah, and I don't go past 31 because Simple reason. Again, no hocus pocus here. It takes too long to count past 31 on a video. So if anybody is here live and wants to choose a number between 1 and 31, okay, Trent said 25. I'll read that one and see if it's a message, a positive affirmation that touches you in a, in a hopeful way, and you might want to consider that. Ultimately, your spirituality is between you and God, and in my opinion, not anything that I'm doing here or anything anybody else says. It's really you, your soul, and God knows best for you. Okay. So all right, Trent said 25. I'm also going to do number 14 because there's someone that was supposed to be here that couldn't make it. But I'm gonna start with Trent since he's been very pleasantly interactive. So thank you, Trent. So let's see, 25, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 10. You see what I mean? It takes a while to count. Thank you. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay. 22, 23, 24. Here we go. 25 for Trent and anyone else that resonates with this in a positive way. Okay, so this says, I am grateful for all that I have and all that I am. I am grateful for all that I have and all that I am. And it says on the back, being grateful is such a wonderful gift you can offer yourself. Again, it's like that old saying, count your blessings, right? The blessings God gives you despite our challenges, despite when we feel like, oh, I just want to give up. I'm so sick of these problems, quote unquote, these challenges. Life should be easier. And then they say, count your blessings. Are you kidding me? Do you see what's going on? It's like, well, unfortunately, unfortunately, it seems that we have to do a little work by shifting our focus in order to see the hope, to get the positive God inspiration again. Because if we're only looking at the problem, we're not even in the energy vibration, thought vibration, supposedly, that we can even allow in that positive inspiration um that God has for us. So I'm grateful for all that I have and all that I am. Being grateful is such a wonderful gift you can offer yourself. Take 5 minutes each day. This is just a suggestion. I'm glad, Trent. I'm glad that you liked that and you needed that. And I needed to have you here today, and anybody else here that's been positive. It helps me. So, see, obviously, I'm learning to not be bothered by interesting negative comments. So, thanks for being here. Take 5 minutes each day and reflect on what you are grateful for. Okay. 5 minutes each day to think about what you're grateful for. Sometimes people make a little gratitude list or a blessings list or a Abraham Hicks likes to say a list of appreciation. And you don't have to do it 5 minutes a day. You could do it whenever you think of it. I think it probably is a little bit more powerful when you write it down. I think that's sort of almost more of a soul connection, seeing it written on the page. Um, and gets you to focus, like really focus. Oh, I'm grateful or I appreciate, as an example. And you could just look around. It could be simple things, but if you could get more emotionally involved, that'll make your whole body feel better. And I think it also actually helps your cells, from what I understand. Heart Power Vitamin. I'm not sure what that is. Hi, Nelson. Good to see you. I'm going to choose a number for you. I was going to do 14 for you, but right now I'm finishing up this card, 25. We're almost done. But so a list of appreciation could just be, like right now, whatever's around you, I'm grateful for or I appreciate the chair that is actually like Abraham Hicks would say, even if you're just satisfied, if you can't really feel appreciative because you're dealing with some kind of problem, some kind of temporary challenge in life. Uh even it's like, and what am I even satisfied with? Well, I'm not really appreciative right now. I'm kind of aggravated, but okay, I'm satisfied that this chair, this seat is holding me up and it feels comfortable enough that I'm not distracted by it. Yeah, I'm satisfied with that. Okay, I'm also satisfied that right now I feel okay. It's not like I have a headache or anything. My head feels okay. I feel like I have a little bit of energy, and yeah, I'm getting inspired by some things on the internet. We don't want to overdo with the internet though, because I've been cutting back on a lot of internet because it was making me too frustrated and overstimulated. But that's another story. That's something else I'll be sharing about. But I appreciate that, I can connect to people, friends, and and inspiring stories on the internet, or just even that person held the door for me today. That was very nice. I love the sun, the way it's hitting the leaves on the trees, and the green is like, kind of looks like it's glowing. Um, and the sun just came out. The birds are chirping. It's very peaceful. Yeah, I can appreciate these things. So it's just some examples. Hi, I'm sorry. I don't really I don't do I mean, I don't give supplement recommendations. I'm sorry. Yeah, IT, Bombay Computer Science, and Nobel Heart for good health. Okay, so we're not advertising other things here. Okay. Um so that was that about just, gratitude, or just, it's really more about focusing, getting more of a focus when you're dealing with challenges or problems, making sure you incorporate some time where you're thinking about what is working out for you, in your opinion, what you are grateful for, just to get some of that in. Because in my belief, and with what I've seen in my life, the law of attraction, which is part of God's universe, in my opinion, just like the law of gravity is, what you vibrate, what you think and feel, it's like it's an energy, it goes out, and law of attraction uh attracts back to you matching energy. So you want to, if you want to improve the results you're seeing in your life, and get into the right place at the right time with the best solutions for you that God has available for you, you've got to put out more positive energy where you can. That's my understanding. Of course, it's not always that easy, and sometimes we need therapists, we need doctors, we need spiritual directors, whatever, prayer, meditation, etc. This life is not a one quick fix, but there's a lot more hope than we know, than we're aware of, especially when we're worried. And when we're worried, we can't even see the things that are hopeful for us. Sorry, flies. We can't even see the things that are hopeful for us because we're not in the state where we're able to kind of notice it. You can't notice it when you're in worry and stuff. It could be an answer could be sitting for you right on the table. Like, I saw this man one time. He was begging for money, which I felt bad about. I think I went to give him money at one point, but he was begging for money, and then I saw right under his foot, not under his foot, like on the side, like 2 feet away, was a crumpled up dollar bill that was looked dirty. I didn't know what that was. After he passed, I looked, I was like, "Look at this." He was looking, "I don't have money, I don't have money." 2 feet away from him on the floor was a dollar bill, but it was out of his awareness because he was focused on lack. Yes, Nelson, there'll be a replay. Thank you. You could don't feel free to go. I'll do number 14 for you if that's what you want, or whatever number. You can type it fast. Um so I'll just do one more card, that the one that Nelson mentions, that, well, I think it's for, is it 14, Nelson? Um let's see. Otherwise, so anyway, I hope some of this has been helpful. I do these Thursday, Terrific Thursday YouTube lives every Thursday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay, Nelson, thank you. And then I do have the replay. For some reason on YouTube, like, I could just hit post replay right now, and it'll take like 7 hours. to show up. So sometimes you have to go back to it the next day if you want to see the replay. But I hit it immediately. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Here we go. 14. Something else I'll be talking about sometimes is uh, ADHD, which I feel that I may have. I've always been a creative type, and I think there's a lot of people out there that may not realize that they have kind of some challenges with focus or like accomplishing certain goals and things or taking in information. And I hear that sometimes it gets a little stronger when when you're older because it's connected to hormones and dopamine, etc. So I'm starting to work with tips for being able to focus and feel better. And some of that actually is not being online so much. Like the doom scrolling can really give us anxiety. Um, and it's sort of also it's not good for when you have ADD in some way. Thank you so much, Trent. I appreciate it. You've been amazing too. Thank you. Okay, here's the last one. Oh wow, this is what I should have gotten when the first person came on and told me to be careful of what I was talking about here. Um, this says the only approval I need is my own. The only approval I need is my own. Of course, we want to do positive things. It's not like, someone's, gonna hit somebody and hey, they just need we're talking about positive things, okay? The only approval I need is my own. And it says, and Nelson, this one is you chose. You chose worrying about wow, this is like my message. I take this as my godly message for me and for Nelson or Trent or anybody watching this live or in the replay. Marta, Abel, it says worrying about what others think is only a distraction to living courageously. Nobody knows your needs better than yourself. And nobody knows what other people may need as inspiration or to help even lead them to having more faith in God and in them, in their own, having more self confidence, having some wellness. Nobody knows that other than the person themselves and their soul connection to God, in my opinion. So once again, Nelson, thank you for choosing this number. The only approval I need is my own. And it says, worrying about what others think is only a distraction to living courageously. Nobody knows your needs better than yourself. And we're all works in progress. We're human beings having a spiritual experience. Nelson says, Wayne Dyer said, what other people think of me is none of my. Thank you, Nelson. I'm going to wait a minute. That's a standing ovation. Thank you. What Wayne Dyer said, Nelson said, is what other people think of me is none of my business. Woohoo! And again, I'm talking about doing things positively, right? We're not talking about someone, doing all these negative things and, doesn't matter what other people think. We don't want to hurt anybody, so anyway, thank you so much for that. Thanks everybody for being here. And the replay will be up whenever YouTube allows it to fully upload. It should be there tonight or tomorrow, maybe sooner. See, Nelson Trent is a cool uh person joining us. He's into all this stuff too. So he said he liked that one too, Nelson. Thanks everybody. If you like this kind of material, I know it's boring to hear it and annoying that people always say, could you like and subscribe, but this is how YouTube works. And even if you don't want to, I'm here whether you like, you subscribe. I'll be here. So good to see everybody. I'm be doing events. And more about dealing with getting through life with and overwhelm with a positive mindset, law of attraction, and some and actually some mindful, easy, creative crafts and events. So I'm so glad, Trent. Thank you so much. Great to meet you. Thanks for being here, and Nelson and everybody else. Hope to see you again. Okay, everybody, have a great day, and all those in the replay. Great day. Good night. See you again. Thank you. Bye bye.